What are you doing? Well, enjoy this last Dang It's video because it's the last one before the playoffs when we jack the price. You've been giving this out for free the whole time? We'll talk about this after. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Steve's Dang It's. Hey, everybody, please welcome back Producer Drew, who is now Producer Dad. Aw, pause for aw. I'm just picturing him on 90-minute sleep, bumping into the walls on his way to go change a diaper, mumbling under his breath, that's a dang it. Anyway, buddy, welcome back. And now you can take care of your other child, me.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Now, even though it's not quite the playoffs yet, there are so many things at stake. For example, winning your division. Alex Tuch had the opportunity to do just that for the Vegas Golden Knights, and...
Alive, shift to the puck by Colasar. Alex Tuch looking to dash his way up the ice. Has Carrier with him. Carrier with Tuch. Carrier to Tuch, and he missed it. What a chance as they broke 2-on-0.
Rush up the ice. Tuch, Carrier. Carrier gets it back, and Tuch just too much, pushes it out the other side. He had a wide open net.
Now, I know Producer Drew was not hurt by that play on account of he's a Colorado Avalanche fan, but for everyone else who's ever dreamt about scoring a goal, that is a dream turned into a nightmare. I guess you could say Alex couldn't tuck it home. Don't boo me, it's hilarious. But you know what he was thinking on the way to the bench? That's a dang it. For our next dang it, this was a very popular request. David Pasternak and Leo Komarov, getting familiar.
Marchand closes, the shot going wide, and the Islanders have an Komarov, a cheap shot. Komarov tried to change the trajectory of the Boston Bruins season right there.
New York Islanders penalty number 47. 2 minutes for slashing, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike.
Wow, just the two. Weak.
And that looks like a butt end.
Butt end.
Nasty butt end.
Butt ended. John McIsaac and Brian Pakmara are the referees. Right.
One of the reasons this was highlighted is Jack Edwards' reaction to everything. I would love to hear it, Drew, please.
After the whistle, give him a major and look at it.
Just the two.
Weak.
And that looks like a butt end.
Butt end.
Nasty butt end.
Butt ended.
Listen, it's not even that he's wrong, it's that he says it. Does that make sense? Also, the bitter Leaf fan in me is like, oh, butt ends aren't allowed now. Okay, I can't keep up. But another reason that this was highlighted by people is folks were saying that David Pasternak dove. Can we see it again? Okay, yeah, no, I don't think he dove at all, guys. Listen, I get why you're like, oh, it just hit him with his glove. First of all, you gotta remember, Leo Komarov is Leo Komarov, and he's been Leo Komarov for a while. He is an effective, annoying role player. The reason you don't think he actually hurt David Pasternak is years upon years of honing his craft of getting away with stuff. And a butt end placed just right to the ribs, And I'm pretty sure if Pasternak actually dove, Komarov would have reacted differently. But instead, he just stood there like, I did what I did. Come and lick me, Brad! See, everyone remembers Ryan Callahan, but Komarov was the original guy who got licked! And apparently he hasn't forgotten. But for David Pasternak and the pinch, the tiny pinch he might have felt on that play, yeah, that's a dang it. You guys, you think he's diving, but you don't want to be on the receiving end of that. For our next dang it, the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers are going to play each other in the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time ever. And, as luck would have it, they happen to be playing each other a bunch down the stretch. And I don't think they like each other. And what's even better, weird stuff seems to happen when they play. Like, check this out. I don't know what Andre Vasilevskiy is supposed to do.
New player gets a little room, puts it out in front. Good row. Trying to clear, but Toronto takes away. Wenberg in front of the Tampa net. It bounces, and it goes in! Chernak could knock it away! And the Panthers get one. It's 3-1 Florida.
Right as the power play expired, he just found Duclair out in front, tried to thread that puck. It was knocked out by Chernak's stick and went straight in the air. Look at Vasilevskiy trying to find it. And a swing by Cernak, and
it's like this, Harry. Wingardium Leviosa. What's amazing about that is when the puck stops immediately and goes up in the air, Vasilevskiy actually tracks it and goes, because he knows it's behind him. While it's flipping, I think Cernak does get a piece of it, but that goal was scored by some higher force. Because it's flipping, it could go anywhere, but it's like the hockey gods just went, and it goes in, fortunately for the Panthers, but if you're the Tampa Bay Lightning, and specifically Andrei Vasilevskiy, that's a dang it. And you might be like, how are you chirping Andrei Vasilevskiy? I'm not chirping Andrei Vasilevskiy, but the dude had a tough week. It's not even the only dang it he's got in this video. Check it out.
And Mackenzie Weegar will get it all the way down the ice. Vasilevskiy, not sure he knew a Panther was there. The wraparound score! Yoo-ho! Lava goes short-handed off the Vasilevskiy mistake. It's 2-0 Panthers.
Tampa all goes off for a change. They leave their goaltender. Vasilevskiy just puts it behind the net. He believes that one of his defensemen was going to come and help him out. He just dumps it behind the net. And Juho Lammikko just steals it and says, how do you do? And stuffs it in on the short side.
What are you doing? Seriously, I gotta... What's he doing? It's not just that he didn't know an attacker was there. That's actually a mistake that we've seen a bunch of times. The confusing thing for me is him playing the puck off the boards to himself like a cat pawing at a ball of yarn. And you know what? His teammates did dilly-dally a little bit and left him alone in the zone, but you know what could have prevented this whole thing is if the goaltender tended the goal! Listen, over the past few years, who has been a consistently better goaltender than Andrei Vasilevskiy? I think it is a list of 0. But what on earth is this? Oh, I don't get it. Oh, buddy, that's a dang it. You might want to clean that up before your series against them. Listen, showing up in a dang it's video doesn't mean you're bad. I mean, Duncan Keith is one day going to show up in the Hockey Hall of Fame. But No Teeth Keith, as he was nicknamed during the 2015 Stanley Cup run that Chicago had, we can kind of see how he might have lost them.
For the Hurricanes, a big save. Mrazek can keep this even. Now Duncan Keith runs into the linesman, gets kicked in the face, and that's going to be a breakaway for Natchez, and Adili scores! Short-handed! His first short-handed goal came the other night on an empty netter. This time he does it the traditional way, and the Hurricanes go up 1-0.
As Duncan Keith loses his footing, hope he's okay, but just full-blown Canaveral-esque. And there's just no way, hopefully Keith is okay, colliding with the linesman. And just an absolutely marvelous play.
Oh no! So to summarize, Chicago Blackhawks power play, Keith has the puck, smashes his face off of the official, loses the puck goes the other way, short-handed goal against. That is a delicious series of unfortunate events if you're the Carolina Hurricanes, but for Duncan Keith and the Chicago Blackhawks, that's a dang it. Man, the more I watch that replay, the worse it is. Look at his helmet just shoot back. Good Lord, the linesman like jumps into it like Jorge Masvidal on Ben Askren. And just a reminder that dang it's are not necessarily mistakes or bloopers. Sometimes they're just things that make you go, dang it. And if that doesn't make you say dang it, I don't think I trust you as a person. Now, for our next dang it, what a interesting season the Oilers have had in net. Because after the bubble, all I saw were people talking about play Koskinen, don't have Mike Smith, play Koskinen. Then the Oilers re-signed Mike Smith, and I'm like, I don't know about that. Then all of a sudden, he's amazing. He's been so good this season. On the other side of the coin, here's Mikko Koskinen allowing the first 4 shots the Canucks put on him.
Goal in that Canucks loss on Tuesday. Hoglander darts to the net, shoots and scores. And that was blocked. Rebound. Wrist shot score. It's Jack Rathbone. It's in. Rathbone 4 minutes later. The Canucks a 2-goal lead. Here's a drive. Hamonic blocker save. No, it trickled in. Against McLeod to the point. A wrist shot. Koskinen makes himself big. Wrist shot score. Through the 5-hole. It's 4-0 Vancouver. Jace Howerluck puts the Canucks up 4.
The stick should have just shattered in Koskinen's hand before he even did it. Like, yeah, no, you allowed the first 4. I know, I'm going. Man, oh man, that is just not a fun night for a goalie. Oh boy. It's a thankless position. Like, a defenseman can have a few bloopers, but otherwise have like an okay night outside of those mistakes. But some nights when a goalie doesn't have it, oh, it's like they're translucent. Like everything goes through them. Oh, Mikko, I don't know how you don't feel for the guy. That's a dang it. And hey, we could not possibly end this Dang It's video without a follow-up. I didn't realize sometimes these Dang It's videos, the games just fall in a weird place. In a previous Dang It's video, we talked at length about Wilson punching Buchnevich while he was down, and then grabbing Artemi Panarin and roughing him up and putting him out for the rest of the season, and of course getting nothing. Well, you know what we haven't followed up with yet? The suspension to Pavel Buchnevich from the next game and half a dozen fights.
3 assists.
Here we go,
Right off the face-off. 3 fights simultaneously. Rooney and Dowd. DiGiuseppe going at it with Hathaway, Blackwell, and Hagelin. 1 second in.
First of all, classy move by Blackwell. He had Hagelin down and he didn't throw an extra punch. Hathaway and DiGiuseppe are really getting after one another. That reminds me of when John Tortorella coached the Rangers and Pete DeBoer coached the New Jersey Devils, and they got after it, Kenny. You were here to do that game. I was here to do that game with Doc Emmerich, and it got a whole lot of nasty. That was a lot of nasty right there.
Tom Wilson on the ice for the first time. He has the puck, and here's the boos from the crowd.
And here's Brandon Smith.
Brandon Smith goes right after Wilson.
Yep.
It did not take long, Pierre.
Nope. He showed it in the warm-up, Brendan Smith, and he knew. And he's hanging in there real well against an unbelievable heavyweight in Tom Wilson.
He certainly is. Well, 3 fights simultaneously right at the start, and now 50 seconds in, Wilson's first shift. And this one will go against Washington, and now Buchnevich takes Mantha to the ice.
That started a long time ago in the defensive zone of the Washington Capitals. They were jousting with one another. Buchnevich has really been the eye of the Washington Capitals. They've been eyeballing him most of the game. See, Washington's going to keep this play alive, but look in the slot. You see Mantha, little chip to the back of Buchnevich, 39 chips away. He comes back and challenges Buchnevich, and then you see the high stick by Buchnevich right into the face of Mantha, and then Mantha drops the gloves and he's ready to go. But that started all the way at the other end of the ice. You can go all the way back 180 feet. It started there behind the play, and then here's where the damage really gets done. Wow, that's a big cross check to the face.
Geez, 3 off the opening face-off, and then another, and another, and another. Well, it's good for the sport. People were tuning into that game. I did not tune into that game to watch Ryan Strome fight. Honey, cancel my plans. Ryan Strome is about to fight. And dude, that is nothing against Ryan Strome. I mean, hats off to the guy. Buddy, I'm not getting into a fight with an NHL player, no thanks. But outside of Tom Wilson and Brendan Smith, who did fight, and it was actually a decent tilt, you know who the main attractions are. It's not like Zdeno Chara was getting in fights out there. The Washington Capitals should have known this was coming, though. The New York Rangers are not afraid of a fight. Their backup goalie in the first week of the season punched one of their defensemen in the head, and he never played a game after that. What'd you say, Drew? That's an entirely different context altogether. Can you give me a brief summary? You can't? Ooh. Oh, wow, they had a whole press conference about it, and the GM and president were there. That was before they got fired? What do you mean that was before they got fired? They all got fired? It is staggering, the butterfly effect of Tom Wilson's punch on Buchnevich and the completely unpunished anything against Panarin. It led to 6 fights. One of them featured Tom Wilson. He was listed as having an upper body injury, missed the rest of that game, and he hasn't had a nice time since. Not to mention, Artemi Panarin is out for the rest of the season, and the Rangers president, GM, and head coach have all been fired since. What a month this past week has been for the New York Rangers. So I'm going to go ahead and file that under Dang It's for them. Completely unrelated to the New York Rangers. Do we want to talk about Jack Eichel? I'm sure we've all seen the comments by now. I'll refresh your memory just in case.
You know, for sure, I would say I've been a bit upset about the way that things have been handled since I've been hurt. I wouldn't I'd be lying to say that things have moved smoothly since my injury. So yeah, I think that there's been a bit of a disconnect, I think, from the organization a bit and myself, and it's been tough at times, but right now for me, I think the most important thing is just trying to get healthy and figure out a way to be available to play hockey next year, wherever that might be. I mean, I think, the losing stuff, it takes a toll. I think it's all perspective, and I guess we'll see what happens, Paul. I think there's a lot to that question. I think in the situation that I'm in right now, my main and number one focus has been to try and figure out a way to, one, be cleared to play, and two, just try and get myself in as good of condition to be ready to have a good year next year.
Okay. So look, this is extremely messy. And I'm not going to lie, throwing blame one way or another kind of makes me uncomfortable until we know absolutely everything. But I'll tell you what it sounds like. Jack Eichel wants surgery on his body that is hurting. It's his body that's hurting. And it kind of sounds like the Buffalo Sabres are advising against that. And I tend to side with let the guy do to his body what he wants to do to his body. You're not the one with the herniated disc in your neck. But I think the biggest dang it here is for Sabres fans. And it gives me no pleasure. No fan should take pleasure in the Buffalo Sabres fans suffering. Because even though Buffalo Sabres GM Kevin Adams came out and said Jack Eichel has not requested a trade, we all saw the comments, Kevin. Yeah, he did. Like, if we were at a restaurant and I asked you if you liked the restaurant, and then you responded, I'm not having a great time, I gotta look out for my best interest, I would assume that would be our last meal at that restaurant. And Sabres fans concerned that Sam Reinhart might wanna... Sam Reinhart's so underrated this season, by the way. He's got 25 goals. His next closest teammate's got 13! But for Sabres fans, the idea that the Reinhart era could be done there, that the Eichel era could be done there. Oh, I don't even want to call it a dang it. I just want to hug you. My mentions have been full of Sabres fans. They don't even have the heart to say screw the Leafs anymore. I mean, I'm sure they'll find it, but they're sad right now. I'm sure many of you have seen Melody Martin on Twitter. She's a Sabres fan with a YouTube channel. And wow, did I know that feel, Melody. If you're looking for the video, it shouldn't be too hard to find. It's called I Actually Hate the Buffalo Sabres, and it's by a Buffalo Sabres fan. Tells you all you need to know. That's a dang it. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. As always, leave a comment in the comment box down below. Let us know how we did. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends that Producer Drew is now Producer Dad, and he's still not real.